Taproot is a national nonprofit organization, and our vision is a future where every nonprofit has the skills, the expertise they need to thrive and to really go after their missions with their full force. And the way that we support nonprofits in getting there is by connecting them to pro bono service or the types of support that they would otherwise pay for on the market, let's say a high level strategist or someone to help them rethink their technology, their marketing plan, execute some change in the way that they're putting their strategy into play in an organization. We get them that support at no cost. And we've been doing that at pretty good scale for 25 years now. So we do it through an on demand platform where nonprofits can go anytime and ask for and receive support from a whole fleet of pro bono consultants who want to give their skills. And that work has been really growing over the last year. We can talk a little bit about that, but it's been very exciting to see. We do that by working inside employers to help them build their own bespoke programs. We're inside nearly 45 of the largest employers in the world, helping them build programs to bring their talent out to communities to solve problems. And we do that through the insights that we gather through our work, through the expertise we've built over time, and the thought leadership and convenings that we do to bring our field together and really help it advance, especially now at a time where the world of work is changing so fast. We're in the business of bringing new ways of working to the nonprofit sector, and so we have to really, as a field, keep up with that.
So the nonprofits that you work with, what size are
Yeah.
they? All sizes, small, small community-based ones?
Yeah, it runs the gamut is the short answer on that. Oftentimes when we're working with our corporate partners or philanthropic partners, we may be working with large, well-established nonprofit organizations because they oftentimes are the ones that are getting funding and support from those partners. But when it comes to our on-demand platform and the nonprofits that come to us for help, we're often working with small community-based organizations that are getting started and need the support of a team. And we can oftentimes come in and provide them with that talent. And what's kind of a beautiful thing about the work is that oftentimes people who come in and provide pro bono consulting end up staying on, building a relationship. They might join the board of the organization or become somebody who kind of comes in on a fractional basis to help them over time. We have so many of those stories in the work that we do, and I'm really proud of the way that we've changed some people's career trajectories and lives in connecting them to the social sector and seeing what their skills can do when applied for good.
So you said you work within corporations, companies to help create, I would imagine, what is it, an employee volunteer program? Would that be a way to describe it?
Absolutely. And our specific area of expertise is volunteerism that focuses on how do we get your skills and what you are great at as an employer, as a company, and how do we get that to the nonprofit community, whether it's in a region that you want to support, whether it's a certain type of issue area, you might be focused on economic development or education, whether you want to apply your skills towards that. We can, or if it's your grantee base, something like that, we can help them build a program to bring their skills to the fore. And we're often working within social impact teams, corporate responsibility teams, but more and more we're working within talent development and learning and development teams, and really building out and amplifying the impact that our programs can have within those spaces.
I was reading your report, Human
Yeah,
Skills at Work,
yeah,
and you start out in the report saying what we hear a lot of, which is that employers say it's good to have some hard skills, but the skills such as you mentioned, empathy, adaptability,
hmm
teamwork, and critical thinking, very important
yes,
and very
hmm
important skills. Are you seeing that employers are asking their employees to volunteer for nonprofits, in this case, so they can develop those skills? Are they not developing them inside the company? I'm trying to make that connection.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, we're working inside of a lot of companies, so we have a really special view on what our partners are experiencing, the pressures that they're feeling. And we hear consistently among our partners, our corporate partners, that they are, like all of us, trying to adapt to a fast changing world of work. Um, AI is changing the game. in terms of what is possible. And it's moving so fast. We've seen change before, we've seen technological change in the past. This just feels like it's at a new level, a new volume. So everybody is trying to keep up, both in products and services, but also if you're a talent leader, you are thinking about how are we upskilling and preparing our teams to be fluent in using AI and adaptable to using AI and bringing it into our work so that we can stay competitive as a business. This is a huge business challenge and opportunity for folks. And so what we're hearing from our partners is how might we do a few things? One is how might we help our talent gain exposure to problem solving either with AI or on projects with partners who are trying to adapt to AI so we can give them that type of experience. Or it may be how do we get our people just to exercise um, new ways of working in the age of AI. So that may be anything from deploying AI itself, or in many cases, building the skills that are more durable at this time. So you mentioned technical skills. I mean, the half-life of a technical skill now is changing really fast, shortening. But these skills that are more durable, judgment, communication, problem solving, empathy, right? These are the skills that make us more uniquely human and that won't be automated away as quickly. And so, how do we build them? And one of the best ways to build them is applied learning, experiential learning, and then double down on that by putting people in an unfamiliar environment with real stakes. You're feeling purpose, meaning, some pressure. Um, and that really is an amazing learning lab for these durable human skills that companies are really craving and trying to get their people building fast.
Do you see any difference in perhaps the experience level of a worker, whether they're an early worker, early in the workforce,
Mhm.
mid-career, older, when they're put into these situations?
That's a great question. What I can say is oftentimes, I think when you have somebody who's been in the workforce for a while, we've been through a lot of different ways of working. The world of work has changed even just a ton in the last 6 to 10 years, right? Where many folks went virtual. We're doing a lot more technologically, a lot more communication and relationship building in virtual environments. Um, and in some ways, people who've been in the workforce for a while have a bit of a leg up because we had natural environments for building, these capabilities around empathy, connection, even just things like your eye contact. How do I establish trust? Um, and we do hear from some of our partners that they have a strong interest in getting the early career talent into environments where they can start to build those skills and build them fast. And so I would just say that I think mid and later career individuals oftentimes have built and sharpened those skills. I think for those skills, early career talent, we do hear some energy from our partners around trying to get them into those environments. Um, but no matter what, for all of us, being able to name and develop those skills and be really intentional about the skills that are going to give us an edge in the AI era, regardless of where you are in your career, you can make progress, you can develop and build these skills. You can get better at that. Even myself, um, all of us really can stand to practice how to build these skills.